Hey people, welcome back to another video. Unproblematically problematic. So guys, I like try to say I want to judge. I have a lot of sense wanted to give about the cast of Love Island season 7. And to be honest, I made this video before and I went all out. I said everything, and as I was editing, I was like, you know what, I don't want to put this out there, I don't want to put this out there because I just feel like it's very the negativity outweighs the positivity, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to put negativity out into the world because energy does not disappear. You put negative energy out into the world, it's going to stay there forever. So I'm going to try to do this better, more positively, share my own 2 cents, and hopefully it doesn't like give off too much negative energy. So recently there was a whole thing in the Olandria nation because Nick played dance used a song in his DJing, and then he also used a song in his, on a road trip with his friends, and people are like confused, like, why are you playing a song? And then he said that he's apologized. So obviously I want to talk about this, and the first thing I want to say is that I'm going to give grace to both of them, to both Nick and Ace, because why not? They're young, they're growing, and they're going to learn. They're going to learn. But I'll just say that it's good. It's very good that Nick is the kind of person that wants to move on. He's not. He's like nothing's a big deal. He doesn't want anything to weigh down his spirit, and I really adore that about him. I love people who are just so free, forgiving, and they just know how to move on. Personally, I'm not really that kind of person, but I really admire people who are like that. To be honest, sometimes I wish I could be like that. To be honest, so it's good that he apologized. It's good that he accepted his apology, and it's good that they are like okay, cordial, and even if they're friends, which personally I do think that they're going to be friends, because why not? Ace is someone that Nick really liked, obviously, and adored, admired, and who knows, why not? Ace will be friends with him, because why not? And that's the problem, because I know as fans, as someone that was seeing the whole thing transpire, the way I saw Nick actually admire Ace and showed love to him at every opportunity he could. And when I watched that Ace podcast, I just couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand why and how somebody would come on podcast and do that to someone who actually adores and admires you so much, someone who actually considered you a friend. I did not understand it at all, and that's why honestly I just feel so strongly about the fact that Ace apologized in private, and that Nick is all good. Nick is all good, and even trolling his supporters, calling his supporters losers and calling them haters just because they feel like they feel so strongly for him. I feel like he deserved a better kind of apology in private, and in public would have been better, because it's not just about, oh, it's genuine, it's disingenuine. No one actually, okay, maybe some people think, but I personally don't think the apology from Ace was genuine, because I just see Ace as someone who just is not a genuine person, to be honest. And I just feel like one of the reasons why he apologized is because the backlash was too much, and he didn't actually succeed in what he was trying to do, which was turn people against Nick and Nicolandra and defame them. So he apologized. So I don't think his apology was genuine, anyways. But by principle, as per principle, apologizing in public, like you humiliated him in public, would have been the greatest. Because come to think of it, when that podcast aired and people heard everything Ace said, some people actually changed their opinion about Nick because of that podcast. So people doubled down, and a lot of people were like, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. So those people actually created a whole new idea of who Nick is because of someone came out and said that this who Nick is. That's what defamation is. You come out to say negative things about people. People start to believe you. Some people believe your negative things and will actually see that, oh wait, this is who Nick is. So the point of a public apology is so that people who actually believed what you said before would actually see that, oh, you admit to being wrong, and they can actually change their opinion about the person you defamed. That's it. The things that Ace said in that podcast about Nick was a lot. It was in fact too much. He insinuated that Nick was a scammer, that is scamming Olandria in this whole relationship thing. He insinuated that Nick had an STD. He insinuated that Nick has bad character. He said he has no respect for Nick as a friend. Nick is not a friend, and Nick did not speak up for his character. But that we saw Nick speaking up for his character. We saw Nick defending him actually. So that doesn't even make sense, to be honest. It kind of showed a little bit of like Ace being jealous of the whole hype and the whole Nicolandra thing, and Ace couldn't imagine being a side character or being the one in the group that didn't have the most accolades, that didn't have the most achievements, and that didn't have the most fans. So to me, he just wanted to beat a Nick down. So personally, I don't think it's a bad thing that Nick actually accepted the apology. I just think that it's really sad to see Nick actually troll his supporters simply because of they feel so strongly for him. It's impossible for us not to feel strongly for you, Nick. It's impossible for us to feel strongly for people who are saying we really especially people who are kind of sensitive. You know, we saw what Ace did in that podcast. We saw how much vim Ace had for Nick. So it's okay that we are actually very emotional and very like we feel a lot for this person Nick because what we saw was a genuine person who is actually nice and sweet. He has nothing negative to say about anybody. He has literally not said anything negative about anybody. To see this person being dragged with negativity on that podcast, of course, we feel so strongly for you, Nick. Of course, trolling your fans was not the way to go, actually. You know, it's so much better if Ace just said that, was the one who said that, oh, I apologize, I want good together, we're good now. Because it's not fair that Nick needs to be the one having two sessions of mental health degradation because of Ace. The first time was when he went on the podcast to make a mess, and the second time now because of he decided to forgive him and he did it in the wrong way, wrong, immature way. And now two times because of Ace. Meanwhile, Ace is there just chilling, living his best life. He's probably giggling at his phone, watching all this hate and backlash that's happening to Nick, unfortunately. Yeah. So at least I saw that at some point the Snapchat comments were turned off by Nick and Olandria. But there's just something I noticed, and that was the fact that Nick said that he wanted to move to Florida because of his mental health, which is a good thing, honestly. It's a good thing that he's considering his mental health. But at the same time, I don't just understand how you claim to care about your mental health to the point where you're moving to Florida and not to LA like everyone initially thought and you thought as well. But at the same time, there was a time where you said you refused to turn off your Snapchat comments because you won't get paid. You're very active on Snapchat. Snapchat is a place where a lot of people send you anything like hate or anything critical about yourself, which you will consider as hate. Snapchat is a place where you get a lot of these comments. So for you to say that for you to say you don't want to turn it off because you won't get paid, but at the same time talk about your mental health is kind of contradicting. Because if you care about your mental health, you will turn that Snapchat comment off, which is the thing that you're actually supposed to do. Because it's so funny how you refuse to turn your Snapchat comment off, but you went on a rampage and blocked so many people who you considered haters because they thought you deserve better. Who you considered haters. And then you block them, they can't comment, they can't add to your income. So what was the point? So like I don't understand. If you claim to really care about your mental health, you should be able to take big steps and intentional steps about your mental health. Granted, the money you may be making, the money that is made on Snapchat may be much, but at the same time, is it as much as you jeopardizing your mental health for? You should have turned off the Snapchat comments and not made anything, not said anything about how you're doing it for money. If you turn it off, you won't get paid. How about you just even leave Snapchat for a while? Like, yeah. But I understand that's an opportunity that Nick is. He has to take the opportunity in everything, even if it is hate and even if it's jeopardizing his mental health. And by opportunities, I know that it sounds like a bad word or bad thing, but no, being an opportunity is not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually a very good thing because you will be able to think on your feet, recognize opportunity, and hop on it. We are not going to sit here and deny that Nick is not an opportunist. He is an opportunist. And I don't think that's a bad thing. But I'm very happy that this whole thing happened, this thing where he has a lot of people that came for him, a lot of supporters that felt so strongly for him to the point where they're coming for him. Me personally, I don't think that Nick did like a super terrible thing, except for the way he handled his supporters who were coming for him. But then again, I guess at the end of the day, everyone is emotional, so they will handle it emotionally. He's gonna handle it emotionally, just like the supporters through him like handled their own emotion emotionally. Me personally, when I heard the news, the first anger I felt was towards Ace. I just couldn't but yeah, I'm going to go to Ace later. So in all this thing, I'm very happy that he kind of like had a moment where he had to dissociate from the fans. I feel like in this moment we'll see the true Nick because honestly, the Nick that I've been seeing prior is a Nick that is a mix of the true Nick and a Nick that is driven by what the fans want. He wants to give what the fans what they want. I don't know if it's the people pleaser in him or is the people like he doesn't want to. He wants to give the fans what they want and he also wants to be on everyone's good side. I feel, and yeah, that kind of thing. Because I don't know. I think you. have been observing Nick. I don't want to call him performative, but to be on like to an extent, some of his actions are performative because he's just someone that is chronically online. He sees what the fans want, he sees what the fans are saying, and he's going to want to do some of the things sometimes. So I think that is a very like it's a negative. This whole thing that happened is negative, but at the same time, I think this is a good. It's going to come from. It's going to lead to a good thing where Nick is less detached to the fans and he's less caring of what the fans want, and he's just going to show us his authentic self. Like, and one thing that I felt like he shouldn't have done that he did. Actually, two things is immediately after the villa, and they were showing all of them on the big screen on the billboard. He made a video about how he's so excited and happy to see Olandria on the big screen. Meanwhile, all of them were on the big screen, including Nick. So yeah, that was weird and performative because like, why are you doing all that just to show that oh you're happy to see Olandria there, but you're also there. So honestly, all of you were on the big screen, so it's not really like, why make a video just showing that you're happy Olandria is there? You could be happy for yourself as well. But of course, he knows that Nicolandria was a huge thing. He's a huge thing, and I just feel like he wanted to enter that whole thing of where people were like, oh my God, he's such a good man. Look at him. It was kind of performative, and also the painting, the clamps painting where he was painting Olandria on live, and he was like, oh, he wants to buy this, but apparently the artist messaged him several times, and he didn't like make actual effort into buying it. Of course, he may be busy and he may be thinking, okay, where are they going to ship it to? Where I don't have a stable house now, where are they going to ship it to? Those kind of things are things that he may have considered. But at the same time, he didn't need to actually say on live where everybody can screenshot it and spread it into Nicolandra Nation and all that thing. He didn't need to say that online that he wanted it, especially since now we see that he didn't need it like immediately. So yeah, I just feel like this is gonna lead to a good thing where we see the true Nick and not someone who's actually wanting to give the people what they want or performative or anything like that. So yeah, and as I said earlier, like I don't want to send any hate to Nick. Actually, I adore the person he is. I love the values he stands for, except for this one that he did with this whole ace thing. Aside from that whole ace thing, because to me it was like you don't understand how things actually. Yeah, maybe he's too simple-minded, a good person, a nice person. I really don't know. But aside from that, I like who Nick is as a person. I feel like like he knows how to make decisions. I feel like he's responsible, and actually like Nick for him. I don't. It's not as if I like Nick because oh he treats Olandria right or whatever. No, I like the person Nick is. I think he's a humble person. He's a down to earth person. He's cool. He has a good head on his shoulder. He's emotionally aware. I know, like to an extent, at least before this whole ace thing happened. That's the kind of person I saw in Nick, and actually, I do like that kind of person. I'll continue to root for him, within the normal limits. Of course, I personally, I'm not the type to look at his Greek Fest videos or anything like that. But you know what? I would press a like. I'll put a like on them because why not? Yeah, I don't hate the guy. I just feel like he has growing to do. Of course, he's young and it's normal. Yeah. So I'm rooting for Nick and going forward, rooting for Nicolandra as well. So of course, another person. So yeah, I'm moving on to Olandria. Of course, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Or if it's not obvious, I'm gonna say it. I love Olandria so much. I love that girl. She's perfect to me. The way she carries herself, her character, her story, everything about her is just lovable. It's just likable, and I actually relate to Olandria so much. And I'm rooting for her. I'm rooting for my girl Olandria. I'm looking out for everything that she does, and I'm rooting for her so much. I wish her the absolute best. But of course, I need to ask. I have some 2 cents on Olandria too. Olandria, where's the YouTube channel? Where's the YouTube channel? Where's the get ready with me? Take me on a day, daily vlogs. Where's all that? Where's all that? We want to see it, Olandria. We want to see. Please get you a videographer and an editor. I mean, you should be able to get this. Ask your manager. They should be able to get this right. I'm very excited for any content you're gonna put out because I think that you have so much potential. You did mention that you're not really into skincare. You can carry us on your new skincare journey together. Even make people that are very into skincare come into it. Get ready with me. And I know on your live, you're like, you don't know if you're gonna put you recorded this vlogs, this haunting her apartment videos, and you don't know if you're gonna put them because of safety. Well, Olandra, the thing is that you don't have to put the outside, the street, the outside of the house. You just have to video the inside, and that's what you're gonna show people. Just the inside of the buildings, like just the buildings, the spaces. Definitely don't put anything outside Don't put any outside thing in your video because of course it's not safe. But yeah, Olandria, where's the video, where's the YouTube channels, the TikToks, in your recent live, say that you're going to come out with your girls. I can't wait to meet your friends. I can't wait. Where's the live, where's the TikTok? I'm just so excited to see more from Olandria. I love Olandria so much. And I love that I love her. I love that I'm into Olandria. She's such a babe. She's such a babe, and I love that I'm into her. I love that for her so much. I love her principles as well, the person she is. You can tell that she has had a lot of character development throughout the years. She has been through it, she has faced a lot of challenges and she has overcome them. And I love that about her. I love that she has principles that she stands on. I'm a principled person, so I love to see people who have principles, who know where they stand, who know what they stand for, who know who they are. And that's kind of vibe that Olandra gives me. And that's why I relate to her so much. And that's why I actually really love her. I can't wait to see any other thing she puts out. And yeah, she's such a babe. I love it. I love it. Now, moving on to the other person I would like to make comment on is the our daddy Ace. Now, as Ace, honestly, I do hope that Ace can reflect on himself and realize how immature he is, and he can understand that he has growing to do. One thing that I would also like Ace to do is that he needs to own up to who he is. When Ace was in the villa, everyone considered him, oh, ringleader, you're telling people what to do and stuff like that. And to be honest, I don't know if ringleader is particularly a bad word, but I'll definitely say that I don't think the word ringleader is something that you need to deny, and not want to claim. It's actually a good thing that you have leadership skills. It's actually a good thing. So why didn't Ace claim the leadership title that he was given to him? Why did he keep on denying? It's not something that he needs to do. Like it's leadership skill that you have. That's great. Some people don't have that. You have natural leadership skills, and it's so sad to see that you use your leadership skill for wrong, for bad. Yeah, it's not cool. It's so sad to see that. When I see people who have natural leadership skill and they're using it for clique, bullying, and stuff, not that Ace did this thing. I'm just like, why? You have so much potential. Obviously, Ace doing that Speedy podcast was very immature and very disingenuous, and it was just not good, to be honest. He shouldn't have done that, because when I saw that, I was actually confused, because I was like, what kind of man does this to his friend, to someone who considered him a friend, someone who is a friend? What kind of person does this? I mean, it's only a person who has such a big ego, and yeah, because I really was confused. It was not right to me at all, and that's why I actually was so sad and angry with Ace, because I was like, you didn't need to do this. Why did you need to do this? Shelley's was big. Shelley's was great. Everyone was rooting for Shelley's. I saw Shelley's content, and I liked it, not because they were my faves or anything, but because why not? They were unproblematic. They were cool. They had a genuine connection, and they had a connection as we could see. So why wouldn't you just like it? Why wouldn't you just like it? Why would you have anything against Shelley's? But when he went on back that podcast, he really showed who he was as a person. He showed how he was an immature person who has tendency to not consider the main character. And that was really sad to see, because it was unnecessary. That podcast was unnecessary, honestly. So yeah, it was really sad to see that he did that. But definitely, he's young. He was just 22 year old, and 23 and 22 is not even that different. Like it's literally the same. And for a guy, that 22 years old, honestly, it's 18. So I would definitely say that we then can give him some grace to the fact that he even apologized to Nick just shows that he has self-reflected, and he has realized that what he did was wrong, and what he said was unnecessary. Even though that was his thoughts, they were still unnecessary to put out there. What he did was wrong. He has realized that. For him to apologize, he has realized that, and I think we can give him grace. Of course, personally, I don't respect the whole public humiliation and then private apology. I don't respect it at all. And honestly, I would definitely say that the respect I have for Ace has definitely reduced. Yeah, definitely reduced even more than it reduced after the Speedy podcast. It's really, really sad to see him do this to himself. No one villainized him. He came out of the villa, people villainized him, and he was able to clear everything up in the reunion. Not everything, but some things up in the reunion. All he had to do was continue to put on positivity and be a positive person. And everyone would have forgotten what he did in the villa and moved on. But no, he refused to do that. Rather, he chose to do what he did. Yeah, he has a lot of growing up to do. He's young, and you know what? I'm going to give him some grace, at least some grace to grow as a human being. Obviously, as the growth has started since he realized that he was wrong and he apologized. So we got to give him grace and clap for him, right? So I hope he changes. I hope he changes himself, continue to self reflect and changes who he is, and embrace the leadership skill that he does have. Stop denying it. Stop behaving like as if it's an insult. It's not an insult. It's a compliment. And embrace who he is. Embrace his bad and his good side. The truth about is, I feel like he doesn't want people to see him as a bad person. That was why he kept on denying some things like ringleader. Look, you need to be proud of who you are. You need to be proud of who you are, and self-reflect on who you are. Be self-aware and embrace all parts of you. Embrace your toxic traits. And be confident in saying that you're selfish. Be confident in saying that you're manipulative. That's the difference between, I see people trying to compare Ace and Tyreek from season 10 Love Island UK. Honestly, they're not the same because Tyreek is 100% who he thinks he is. He will not deny anything bad or good about himself, but Ace keeps denying things that he considers bad, and that's what the problem is. Accept it, accept everything, accept it, and accept who you are. Be self-aware, have some self-love. Yeah. So that's what I have to say about Ace. I have written a few negative comments on thread regarding Ace, to be honest. So I just so yeah, I've deleted them because I've decided that, you know what, let's give this guy grace. I don't respect him or the way he did his things, but you know what, we can give him grace regardless. So yeah, let's do. And the next topic, the next people I want to judge is the fans, is the supporters, Nicolandrians. Honestly speaking, the supporters are very problematic. Some of you just too invasive, giving unsolicited advice. And if you have decided that Nicolandra is not you feel like, oh, you've seen them for who they are, they're a PR couple, you don't need to come online, make a video and talk about how, oh, this is a PR couple, I was the Lulu too. You don't need, because then you made it about yourself. You became selfish and made it about yourself because in the future you don't want, and you're scared that in the future, if they realize, oh, if people see that, if they break up, you don't want to be one of people where they say, oh, look at you, you supported it. Like, you don't have to actually come out and do all that you did, to be honest. You don't have to do that. You also don't have to come out and cry because of Ace give a mediocre apology and Nick accepted it. You don't have to cry because you felt so strongly about it, to be honest. I felt so strongly about it. In fact, this whole experience has taught me something. And honestly, definitely thanks to Nick, I will be dialing down from this whole Love Island experience because I felt so strongly about the principality of the whole Nick and Ace apology and the way Nick trolled his fans and trolled his supporters and behave towards his supporters. I felt so strongly about the whole thing. It made me to realize that I'm too invested. I'm too emotionally invested in these people who I don't even know. I thought I was okay. I thought I was good because usually I'm not the type of person to to want to control them. To tell Olandria, oh, give up on your career, go follow Ace Nick around because prioritize your man, like those aunties on TikTok. I'm not the one to comment on her look and say, oh, try side pattern, try. She needs to stop doing this hairstyle. She needs to do a center part. She needs to wear this instead. I'm not the type. Anything that Olandria puts out, I'm always there to support it. I like it, no matter how much I don't. Even if I don't like it, I don't like it physically. I put a like on it because I just love Olandria and I want to support her regardless. And I trust her. I trust that she's a smart girl. Even when people were shouting, oh, she needs to do her own thing. When she did the Kolanis shoot, and people were all about, oh, she needs to make her own brand, blah blah blah. I trusted that Olandria will make her brand. I trusted the person she is. So I trust the Olandria so much. I trust both of them to make the right decisions, to make the right decision for themselves. I've never been the type of fan that would want to control them or to tell them what to do or stuff like that. No, I'm just here to support. But this whole Nick and Ace thing, really, I felt really strongly about it because it's not something I can respect the way both of them handled it. So it just made me to realize that I thought I was good, but I'm not. So I need to dial down even further. And I'm glad that it is because honestly, this whole situation really made me to, let go. Now, before, if I hear, like before, I always needed to know what Nicolandra is up to. I always needed to know, oh my God, what's happening now? What shoots just got released? What projects are they working on? I need to see all the new pictures. But now, like, I haven't gone to look for Nicolandra in like a few hours, like a lot of hours, like 2 days, and I feel fine. I'm okay. I kind of am cool of Nicolandra hype right now. I'm just going to be supporting them, support them, press a like, or if I don't like it, I won't press a like, but I probably will actually just press a like and support them from afar. Normally, I'm not going to be obsessed with them anymore. I'm not going to be always looking for what's out, what's this Nicolandra doing. I'm not going to be doing that anymore. And I actually learned that. And this whole situation really made me to see that this is what I need to do. And I'm glad that I've been able to do it. I'm glad that I'm stepping back, touching grass, and all that. And yeah, I think it's thanks to Nick because it's thanks to Nick. It's thanks to this whole Nick and Ace thing that made me to do this. That made me to detach and made me to detach. So I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy for myself. So I think that a lot of supporters need to honestly to go and touch grass and calm down, stop trying to control them. If you feel so emotionally strongly for them, it's time to step back. It's time to press the unfollow button, or it's time to just breathe in, breathe out, and step back and stop monitoring everything they're doing. It's also yeah, stop monitoring everything they're doing, stop feeling so strongly about them, just support them and it's okay. It's okay. Spread some love. Me personally, if I see anything negative about Olandria, I will defend them in the comment section. I will defend them. I'll tell people to go mind their business. No one cares if you don't believe them anymore. No one cares if they're a pure couple. Honestly, no one cares about that. Relationship end. So I don't understand. Even people who get married, divorce. No one gets married with the hope that it won't work out and they will divorce. So if marriages come to an end, why can't a relationship that's just boyfriend and girlfriend come to an end? Stop holding your breath. If they're going to work it out, they're going to work it out. We're going to clap for them. Of course, I'll be happy if 1 year from now they're still together. But at the same time, if it doesn't work out, it's fine. It's nobody's fault. And it's not a, oh, got you moment. It's not a, oh, you see, I told you moment. It's not that. It's just that it didn't work out. And that's perfectly fine. That is fine. I don't think Ace is genuine. So when Pepe was on this podcast and talking about how Ace is genuine, I was like rolling my eyes. Ace is not genuine. And I don't think anyone should be saying things like that because it just makes you look like a hypocrite. Just like the way Ace actually kind of looked like a hypocrite. You know, he told Amaya not to collect himself in private after bullying him in public, and that's exactly what he did to Nick. So yeah, um, Aris and TJ, honestly, I can't really say I care too much for them and I don't really understand the whole situation with them. All I know is that, yeah, I don't really care to be honest. Yeah, it is what it is. Anyways, going forward, I will be supporting the Colandra. I definitely do love both of them. But of course, I'm not going to be all up in there looking for what next of Nick and Olandria has dropped. What's the newest thing? Also, I'm not going to be obsessive. I'm not going to be dependent on that. I'm going to live my life, of course. I have finally and successfully touched grass, and I think everyone should go and do the same. Excited for what is up for Olandria, anything is up for Olandria. I love me some Olandria. I follow Olandria, and actually, she's the only person I follow, and I'm just so excited for her. I can't wait to meet her friends and everything that she has coming. Yeah, so I'm rooting for Nicolandra as well, and everything. Thank you very much. Please, I'm not a hater and I'm not a fake fan because I've seen and now I notice that anybody that has anything critical to say about Nick or Olandria, or suddenly you're a fake fan. I'm not a fake fan, okay? I'm not a fake fan. I'm not a fake supporter. I actually do support these people. I'm not going to agree with everything they do because I'm a supporter, because at the end of the day, they're human beings. They're going to make mistakes and we're going to see their mistake. And it's okay if we see their mistake and point it out. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, I'm not going to have anything critical to say about them. Sometimes I'm going to have something critical to say about them. And I think that's okay. Yeah. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. Please share this video, like and subscribe. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.